Welcome back, everyone. I hope you've had a lovely half term. Today is the 1st of June 2020. For our English lesson, you're going to need paper, a pen, and a ruler. Pause here while you get this, and when you're done, neatly write your date, learning intention, and underline it. First, we begin with word work. Our word work is on suffixes today, just one suffix, and that's able, which makes able. I'm going to read the words in the word bank, first the words as they are, and then the words with the suffix attached to it. So we can do my turn, your turn, or you can just pause it once I'm done and have a go by yourself. Comfort, break, understand, love. Let's do those with the suffix this time. Comfort becomes comfortable, break, breakable, understand, understandable, love, lovable. Next, drink, accept, reuse, count. That's going to be drinkable, acceptable, reusable, countable. Third row, profit, wash, dispose, advise. Now with the suffix, profitable, washable, disposable, advisable. And last row, believe, punish, knowledge, employ. And with the suffix this time, believable, punishable, knowledgeable, employable. Okay, now I'm going to go down to the sentences, and sentence 1 says, please don't throw away that plastic bag. We can use it again. It's reusable. So there you go. You got to pick the words and add the suffix, and in this context reusable is the right word. We've done number 1 for you. So just going to go back to that word bank, reuse, I've crossed out because I've used it already. It just makes sense and it's helpful to get fewer words each time. Each time you find your word and use it, just draw a line across it so you know that one's done. So if we look at reusable, reuse there at the top ended with vowel, the E. And if you look at reusable, there's no E at the end, so straight after the S I've added on the suffix able, and that's the rule we're going to apply for all the words which end in a vowel. So let's look on our word bank, and the first word that ends in the vowel there is love. Have you found it? So apply the same rule when spelling lovable. We're going to leave the E and add the able, and that becomes lovable. Now just have a quick look and see if you can spot any more words ending in a vowel. Just have a quick scan through the word bank. Have you spotted dispose? Good. So dispose, get rid of the E, and you add the able, and that becomes disposable. Straight after dispose, well done if you've spotted advise, and the same rule. It ends with a vowel E, and you're going to apply the same rule. And on the last row, you've got believe, and then you've got knowledge below there in that column. So same rule. The rule is leave the vowel, which is the E in this case in both words, and add the suffix. It's really important we apply those rules, so it's not only grammar, it's spelling as well. Get the spelling right. Now here's another pause point where you get to Write the sentences out and add the words beside them. Pause here while you get it done. So our learning intention said to write a play script. And let's start by looking at the layout here. So when writing a play script, just briefly going through how it's laid out, you begin by setting the scene, and a scene can be a very short paragraph. Then you start a new line each time a new character speaks. And then a colon is used. So you write the name of the speaker on the left beside the margin, and the colon is a type of punctuation. It's like the one you see here on screen inside the brackets, just 2 dots, one below the other. And there's Peter with a colon beside it, an example. And then you have instructions to the character in brackets. These go in brackets. Sometimes when you read a play script, you'll find them in italics. So for example, here it is, opening the door to let the king in. Those are a character's instructions. So these words aren't spoken, they are simply there for the character, whoever's taken on the role, to understand that he has got to open the door and let the king in this case. So have a read through this and then we get ready to move on. To begin with, let's look at how the scene is set. It is dark, cold night, and Mel and Sid are sitting on a green park bench. The street lights are dim and the sound of the traffic can just be heard in the background. This is the scene being set. Below you can see the characters are Mel and Sid, and there's dialogue going on between the two. Here's a pause point for you to stop and have a look through that scene once again. Remember, the scene is the writing in green, the scene being set. So here we have the characters' names in red, and when characters speak in Playscripts, we do not use speech marks. So just pause here and look at the characters. It's the same script, so it's Mel and Sid, the same characters you saw on the previous slide, and it's no speech marks, you just have a colon. So moving on this slide, we have in blue stage directions. Stage directions tell the actors what they need to be doing on stage. They are not read out loud, they are just information there for the actors to perform. So an instruction for Sid is shrugs his shoulders. So shrug your shoulders, pretend you are Sid and shrug your shoulders. And then Sid's got the next instruction, stage direction again, huffs and stretches legs out, and you can do what Sid's meant to do there, huff and stretch your legs out. And there's a stage direction for Mel, looks up into the sky. This time pretend you're Mel and look up into the sky. So remember, stage directions tell the actors what it is they have to do on stage. So it tells them how to perform, or the actions they're going to be performing. And now we come to the dialogue. The character at the beginning is Mel, and dialogue is the words that are spoken. It's what the characters say. Mel says, "Oh, it's so cold out here. Do you think it might rain?" Next, it's Sid's turn. So you got that stage direction in the brackets. That's not spoken. Remember, those are just actions for Sid. But the dialogue for Sid, he's going to reply to Mel, "Dunno." Mel's dialogue. "Not very talkative tonight, are you? What's up?" And it's Sid's turn this time. Again, "Dunno." Mel's dialogue. "I was thinking about my holiday. All that sun and luxury." And now Sid says, "Don't know what for, it ain't ever gonna happen." So pause here while you go through that dialogue. If you've got an older brother or sister or one of the grown-ups is free right now, get them to be Mel or Sid and have a go with this dialogue and perform the stage directions while you're at it. And so here we have it all together. At the very top, you have your scene being set, the short paragraph. It is dark, cold night, and Mel and Sid are sitting on a green park bench. The street lights are dim, and the sound of the traffic can just be heard in the background. That's your scene set. In red, you have your characters' names, and beside the characters' names, you have a piece of punctuation called a colon. And so, beside the characters' names comes the dialogue. Sometimes characters have stage directions. Stage directions are written inside brackets, and they are blue in color. So you're going to pause here while you look through all these features on the slide. The Lost Toys Playscript is the one-star task. Your cast list at the top says Mrs. Joyner the toy maker, toys, there are 6 in brackets, sweet shop owner, narrators dressed as shoppers, 16 in brackets, Mr. Joyner the toy maker's husband, apprentices and the baker. And there's scene 1, the toy maker's workshop. Okay. Narrator 1. Welcome to our class assembly. Today we would like to present a short play about getting lost and being brought home safe and sound. Narrator 2. Here we have Mrs. Joyner, who is a brilliant toy maker. Everyone comes to her workshop to buy new toys. Mrs. Joyner stands beside one of the toys with a large paintbrush pretending to paint the toy's face. That's a stage direction in brackets. Now stand still. How can I paint your eyebrows when you keep wriggling around? Mr. Joyner. They're a very lively bunch, this last lot of toys. Mrs. Joyner. Well, they will just have to stand still because they must all be finished to go in the shop window tomorrow. Stand still. Mrs. Joyner runs from the toy to toy, adjusting clothes, polishing heads, etc. Narrator 3. Mrs. Joyner and her husband work very hard at making beautiful toys for all the children in the town. She had some apprentices to help her. Apprentice 1. I'm just finishing off the clothes on this one. Apprentice 2. And I'm fixing the arms on here and here. Mrs. Joyner. Well, Mr. Joyner, what do you think of my latest design? Does it need a tweak here or a tweak there? She picks up the saw and the hammer as if to start work on the toy again. The toy looks worried. Mr. Joyner. No, you have done a fantastic job there. It is perfect as it is. Now, this play script is quite interesting. As you can tell, it's a class assembly, so all these performers are the children in class, and you've got questions to answer. Question 1, what is the title of the play? Question 2, who are the characters? Question 3, where is the scene set? Question 4, what is the play about? And finally, what does Mr. Joyner think of Mrs. Joyner's latest design? So, pause point for you to look through that play script once again and answer the questions. And you've got some missing parts to this 2-star task. First question, who is the character? Who is that mystery character that's not on there? And the next bit of your task is to finish the scene and begin the next scene. Remember, your next scene should begin where the character changes location. So remember, take your time and do your best. Use the success criteria we've gone through and take pictures to email the work through to school. Enjoy. Until next time, stay safe, everyone.